on how it's made. Temporary metal fences. Ugly, but very, very reliable. Asphalt shingles, a sticky mix of tar, limestone and cardboard. Expanded polystyrene products. Snappy name with a snappy finish. And boiled sweets, handmade gourmet treats for kids and adults alike. But first, temporary metal fences securely cordon off dangerous areas on construction sites. At open-air events such as concerts and festivals, they mark the perimeter and help direct traffic flow. It may not be the most attractive of all inventions, but it's probably one of the most practical. It all starts with a giant spool with a staggering 7 kilometers of galvanized steel wire. A machine called the straightener uncoils the spool and, unsurprisingly, straightens out the wire. This heavy-duty cutter slices the lengths needed to construct the fence panels. A worker feeds the wire lengths, arranging them in the proper configuration. Lights show where the lengths go for each particular model of fencing. These lengths will form the panel's vertical pieces. The machine carries them over to the automated welding section. A magnetic arm grabs the panel's horizontal pieces and feeds them one by one into position over the vertical pieces. Then the welding begins. This is electrical welding, where a strong electric current zaps the joints, melting the metal and fusing the pieces together. It's faster and neater than traditional welding. The machinery then stacks the welded panels and moves them down the production line. Some panels are welded using a different stacking technique. It feeds the horizontal pieces onto the vertical ones. However, the result is the same. Workers position each welded panel in a manually operated pneumatic press. Then they bend the panel at certain key points. This makes it more rigid and therefore stronger. Next, the surplus wire from the edge of the panel is trimmed off. And then the final step. A rounded galvanized steel post is positioned on each side of the panel. A robotic welder then welds these side posts in place. When it's time to erect the temporary fence, each panel is simply placed in footings that sit on the ground, then lined side by side with further panels and attached by clamping together the side posts. All the fence components are made of heavy-duty galvanized steel, which means this temporary metal fence is highly durable, maintenance-free and rust-proof. Asphalt roof shingles come in many different colours, textures and patterns. They're one of the least expensive roofing materials and are highly durable. But beware anybody with a flat roof. At the heart of every asphalt shingle is a membrane. It can be made from fiberglass or, like this one, wood chips, or even recycled cardboard and paper. The giant rolls of membrane feed what's known as a felt looper. It builds up enough reserve so that workers can change rolls as needed without stopping production. From there, the membrane enters the saturator, where it's drenched in hot liquid asphalt, a petroleum derivative. When this saturant dries, the membrane will be impermeable. Next comes a thicker asphalt coating, mixed with powdered limestone. It's applied to both top and bottom. This coating will make the membrane flexible. It'll also form a protective barrier against harsh weather. With the coating still wet, coloured ceramic granules are spread over the top surface. This gives the shingles their colour and makes them resistant to the sun's ultraviolet rays. Granules that don't stick to the wet asphalt get recycled back into the system. Next, a cellophane strip is applied to the back surface, so the shingles won't stick together in the package. Then the back surface is showered with powdered stone to also prevent sticking. Even at this point, the asphalt coating is still piping hot. Too hot for the shingle material to be cut to size. So it's off to the cooling section, where cold rollers and water jets bring down the temperature. The next machine sticks on strips of adhesive asphalt. The sun's heat will activate them, keeping the shingles stuck to each other. There's now a choice of how to cut the bottom edge of the shingle, which determines the shingle's profile. On the way to the cutting station, the shingle material passes through the finish looper. Like the felt looper we saw at the beginning, the machine accumulates enough reserve so that production won't come to a standstill if there's a problem. The cutting machine chops both size and profile. Standard shingles measure 100 by 33 centimetres. This model has a straight edge, but some styles have a curved bottom. An automatic counter keeps track of production. The shingles are automatically stacked for packaging, usually 21 sheets to a bundle, enough to cover roughly 3 square metres of roof. Asphalt shingles come in 50 different colours and in about a dozen different shapes and profiles. Each bundle of shingles is wrapped in paper that's been treated with polyethylene to prevent water penetration. The bundles then go onto pallets, which the factory then wraps in a plastic bag that's water and UV resistant. Generally, the thicker the asphalt and granule protective barrier, the more durable they are and the longer the guarantee. So, the choice is yours. Coming up in how it's made. Expanded polystyrene products. Snappy name with a snappy finish. And boiled sweets. Handmade gourmet treats for kids and adults alike. See you after the break.
Rămâi aici. Programul continuă cu practică.
În această seară, la 21:30, atenție la ce cumpărați. Escrocherii adevărate. Iar de la 22, Amazonul parcurs la pas. Călătorie din Peru până în Brazilia. Drum până la Atlantic. La 23, Amazonul parcurs la pas.
Căderea părului, 25 de ani de cercetare, o revoluție. Noul Dercosaminexil Pro de la Vichy, o eficacitate incontestabilă, minus 72% fire de păr căzute, demonstrat pe bărbați și femei sub supraveghere medicală. Nou Dercosaminexil Pro de la Vichy, minus 72% fire